Thanks for watching. For more content, subscribe to our channel, like, share, and comment on this video.
Respected and kind man, blessed with two daughters who were renowned throughout the land for their beauty. The eldest daughter was named Manyara, and the youngest, Nyasha. While they shared their father's good looks, their hearts were vastly different. Manyara, the elder sister, was proud and often cruel, believing herself to be superior to all those around her. She considered herself more deserving of fine things and did not hesitate to show her disdain for those she deemed beneath her. In contrast, Nyasha was gentle, kind, and loved by everyone who knew her. She treated all creatures, great and small, with respect and care. Mufaro's daughters grew up in a small village where everyone knew one another. The village was filled with laughter, songs, and the sounds of children playing. Mufaro's home, however, was particularly cherished, thanks in large part to Nyasha's presence. Her generosity and warmth made it a place where everyone felt welcome. One day, a great announcement echoed through the valley. The king of their land, a wise and just ruler, had declared that he was seeking a wife. All the most beautiful and worthy maidens in the kingdom were invited to present themselves at the royal city. The news spread like wildfire, and excitement buzzed in every corner of the village. Mufaro was thrilled by the prospect and believed that his daughters, especially Nyasha, would be excellent candidates for the king. He prepared to send both of them to the city, hoping they might have a chance to meet the king and perhaps win his favor. Manyara, upon hearing the news, was determined to be the chosen one. "I am the most beautiful and will surely be the king's choice," she declared. She scoffed at the idea of Nyasha even trying, believing her sister's kindness to be a weakness rather than a strength. Nyasha, as always, took Manyara's harsh words in stride. She was excited by the adventure ahead and hoped to see new places and meet new people. She helped her father prepare their provisions for the journey, her heart filled with anticipation. The night before the departure, Manyara devised a plan. She decided that she would leave in the middle of the night, alone, to reach the city first. She believed that by arriving before Nyasha, she would have a better chance of impressing the king. While the household slept, Manyara quietly gathered her belongings and slipped out into the cool night. The moonlight guided her steps as she made her way through the forest. She walked swiftly, her mind filled with visions of the royal palace and the life of luxury she was certain awaited her. As Manyara journeyed through the forest, she encountered an old woman sitting by the side of the path. The woman was bent with age and seemed frail. "Good evening, dear child," the old woman greeted her. "Where are you going in such a hurry?" Manyara barely paused, annoyed by the interruption. "I am going to marry the king," she replied haughtily. "I have no time to waste on idle talk." The old woman smiled gently and said, "Before you go, could you please give me something to eat? I am very hungry." Manyara sneered at the old woman. "Why should I waste my food on you?" she snapped. "Find your own food." With that, she continued on her way, her pace quickening as she left the old woman behind. Further along the path, Manyara encountered a boy who was tending to a garden. The garden was lush and green, filled with all sorts of vegetables and fruits. The boy looked up as she approached and smiled. "Good evening, sister. Would you like some fresh fruit for your journey?" Manyara's eyes narrowed. "I have no need of your fruits," she said curtly. "I am on my way to the king's city, and I do not have time for such trivial matters." She brushed past him without another word. As Manyara ventured deeper into the forest, the path became more challenging. The trees grew denser, and the shadows cast by the moonlight created an eerie atmosphere. Suddenly, she heard a low growl behind her. She turned to see a small, frightened boy clutching a bundle of sticks. He had been startled by a leopard lurking in the shadows. "Help me, please," the boy cried, his eyes wide with fear. Manyara frowned. "Why should I risk my life for you?" she snapped. "I have more important things to do." She hurried away, leaving the boy to fend for himself. Meanwhile, back at Mufaro's home, Nyasha awoke early, ready to begin the journey with her father. She noticed that Manyara was missing and felt a pang of worry. "Father, Manyara is not here," she said. Mufaro frowned but quickly realized what had happened. "Your sister must have left early," he said. "Let us follow and catch up with her." Nyasha and Mufaro set out on the path, the journey filled with a sense of wonder and excitement. As they walked through the forest, they encountered the same old woman Manyara had dismissed. Unlike her sister, Nyasha stopped to speak with the woman. "Good morning, grandmother," Nyasha said respectfully. "Where are you headed?" The old woman smiled warmly. "I am just an old woman wandering the forest," she replied. "But I am very hungry. Do you have something to eat?" Nyasha quickly opened her satchel and offered the old woman some bread and fruit. "Please, take what you need," she said kindly. The old woman's eyes twinkled with gratitude. "Thank you, my child," she said. "Your kindness will be remembered." Nyasha and Mufaro continued on their way, eventually encountering the boy tending to the garden. The boy smiled and offered them fresh fruit. "Please, take some for your journey," he said. Nyasha accepted the fruit gratefully. "Thank you, brother," she said. "Your garden is beautiful." As they walked deeper into the forest, they came across the frightened boy Manyara had ignored. The leopard was still nearby, its eyes gleaming in the darkness. Without hesitation, Nyasha stepped forward and gently coaxed the boy away from the danger. "Come with us," she said softly. "You are safe now." The boy's face lit up with relief, and he joined Nyasha and Mufaro on their journey. The trio continued through the forest, finally reaching the edge where the city lay just beyond. The sight of the magnificent city filled them with awe. Its tall spires and golden rooftops sparkled in the sunlight, and the sound of bustling markets and lively music reached their ears. As they approached the city gates, they were met by royal guards who escorted them to the palace. Inside, they were greeted by the king's advisors, who led them to a grand hall where the king himself awaited. He was a tall, regal figure, with eyes that seemed to see into the depths of one's soul. "Welcome," the king said in a voice that was both kind and commanding. "I have heard much about the beauty and virtue of Mufaro's daughters. Please, come forward and let me see you." Manyara, who had arrived earlier and was already seated in the hall, shot a glare at her sister as Nyasha and Mufaro entered. The king observed both sisters carefully. He had also heard reports from his spies about their behavior on the journey. The king first addressed Manyara. "I have heard that you are very beautiful," he said. "But beauty alone is not enough to make a worthy queen. Tell me, what qualities do you possess that would make you a good wife and ruler?" Manyara straightened, her eyes flashing with confidence. "I am the most beautiful woman in the land," she declared. "I deserve to be your queen because of my beauty and my noble birth." The king nodded thoughtfully but did not seem impressed. He then turned to Nyasha. "And you, Nyasha," he said gently. "What qualities do you possess that would make you a good wife and ruler?" Nyasha bowed her head humbly. "I do not claim to be the most beautiful or the most noble," she said softly. "But I have always tried to be kind and compassionate. I believe that a good ruler must care for their people and treat all creatures with respect." The king smiled warmly at Nyasha. "Your words speak of wisdom and a kind heart," he said. "But actions speak louder than words. Let us see what kind of ruler you would truly be." He then revealed that the old woman, the boy with the garden, and the frightened child in the forest were all tests set up by his advisors to observe the true nature of those who sought to marry him. The king's advisors stepped forward, revealing themselves to be the very same individuals Nyasha and Manyara had encountered on their journey. The old woman, now standing tall and regal, addressed the court. "Manyara showed no kindness or respect to an elder in need," she said. But Nyasha, without hesitation, shared her food and showed compassion. The boy from the garden spoke next. "Manyara dismissed my offer of fresh fruit," he said. But Nyasha accepted it gratefully and praised the work I had done. Finally, the frightened child stepped forward. "Manyara left me to face danger alone," he said. "But Nyasha protected me and guided me to safety." The king nodded, his expression thoughtful. It is clear, he said, that Nyasha's heart is filled with kindness and wisdom. These are the qualities that make a true queen. Manyara's face flushed with anger and shame. This is unfair, she cried. I am the eldest and the most beautiful. I deserve to be queen. The king shook his head. True beauty comes from within, he said gently. Nyasha's actions have proven her to be the most deserving. With that, the king declared Nyasha to be his queen. The hall erupted in applause as Nyasha stepped forward, her heart filled with joy and humility. Mufaro beamed with pride, his eyes brimming with tears as he embraced his youngest daughter. Manyara, unable to bear the humiliation, fled from the palace. She returned to the village, her heart filled with bitterness and regret. She realized too late that her pride and cruelty had cost her dearly. The wedding of King and Queen Nyasha was a grand celebration, attended by people from all over the kingdom. The palace was adorned with vibrant flowers and the air filled with the sound of joyous music and laughter. Nyasha's kindness and grace won the hearts of all who met her, and her reign alongside the king was marked by peace and prosperity. Nyasha never forgot her humble beginnings or the lessons she had learned on her journey. She ruled with wisdom and compassion, always remembering the importance of treating all creatures with respect and care. Under her and the king's leadership, the kingdom flourished, and their people lived in harmony. Manyara, having learned the hard way, gradually began to change her ways. She returned to the village and, over time, sought to make amends for her past behavior. She helped the villagers with the daily tasks and showed kindness to those she had once scorned. While it took time, she eventually earned the forgiveness and acceptance of the people. Years passed, and the kingdom continued to thrive under the wise and compassionate rule of the king and queen Nyasha. They were blessed with children who inherited their parents' virtues and carried on their legacy of kindness and justice. And so, the tale of Mufaro's beautiful daughters became a cherished story, passed down through generations. It served as a reminder that true beauty lies in the heart and that kindness and compassion are the greatest gifts one can possess. In the end, the valley remained as lush and vibrant as ever, a testament to the power of love and the enduring spirit of a young woman who, through her gentle nature, became a beloved queen. The people of the kingdom continued to tell the story of Nyasha and Manyara, celebrating the virtues of kindness, humility, and the belief that everyone, regardless of their appearance, has the potential to create a better world. Through this tale, we learn the timeless lesson that true worth is measured not by outward appearances but by the content of one's character. Nyasha's journey from a humble village girl to a wise and compassionate queen is a testament to the power of kindness and the enduring impact it can have on the world around us.
Thanks for watching. For more content, subscribe to our channel, like, share, and comment on this video.